I don't know what you're thinking. Like, if you're actually waiting, it's like, yeah, is this guy? I'm not sure if this guy's good enough. Just go back to last year. You'll know.
Yeah, it's so cool. It means the world to everyone, and it normally hits me, on the plane ride home or 4 a.m. after a few beers. But yeah.
You know what? I'm very comfortable wearing this, and if you think I'm oh well.
Try again.
Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire.
Rock on, baby!
I am serious. Here's the Freaks.
Man, if you could not tell from that open, Will Power is pissed. He goes out and wins the Portland Grand Prix in the IndyCar Series. Dude is pissed. We'll share with you why he's so damn mad. Coming up in a little bit. Connor Zilisch, broken shoulder and a broken head, but will he be back in a race car? Shane van Gisbergen will be here. Crasher, a collarbone and a shoulder still the same damn thing,
no,
all right?
It's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The shoulder bone's connected to the collarbone.
It's two different bones. Well, several bones over here in the shoulder, but the collarbone, no, it's different. You've broken your collarbone, Kenny. You know the difference.
Shane van Gisbergen, dude is on a tear, and he's breaking records of old-ass NASCAR drivers that have held for many, many years, decades, Freak Nation. We'll get to that. Also, Dustin Long checking in from Watkins Glen, a great insider from NBC Sports, the latest on Connor Zilisch, SVG, and many other things coming out of Watkins Glen. And a dude, Cole Cusimano, is maybe 3 or 4 months older than you, my friend. Tristan McKee, 15 years old, buddy. How's it going to feel to not be the youngest guy here in the Freak Nation? Or will you be the youngest guy still?
You know what? I would like to be the youngest guy in Freak Nation still.
Tristan McKee.
For 10 minutes, maybe not.
Yeah.
This dude goes out at Watkins Glen, running on General Tires at the ARCA Series, and wins a race at 15 years old.
Barely 15.
And just this side of Todd Gilliland, being the youngest driver ever. Is that right, Crasher?
In the history of ARCA racing in wins, yes. Todd Gilliland won an ARCA race at the age of 15 years and 2 days. Poor Tristan McKee just won this past weekend at 15 years and 5 days. Oh,
you almost had it.
Almost.
What's that, man? Cole,
way to go, Mom.
Cole, what the hell were you doing? You were the closest to 15 on this set. What were you doing at 15 years old, my friend?
15, geez. Probably just watching NASCAR races, honestly. I was probably at home drinking a bunch of Mountain Dew or Amps, watching Dale Jr. run 20th.
Had your man bag dropped by then?
I mean, I'm 15 years old. Come on. Of course.
Kenny.
Really, at 15?
I mean, yeah. I'm a dude. You kidding me?
Kenny, did yours drop at 15?
Yeah, that's kind of telling.
Mine dropped 15 months ago.
Oh.
We're going to hear from Shane van Gisbergen. We're going to hear from Will Power and so many people. And interesting sound from Shane van Gisbergen's freaking team owner, Justin Marks. Man, dude's got something to say. And, man, does he have his arms around a dude that's going to carry that freaking team for quite a while. Signed him to a new long-term deal last week. And what does Shane van Gisbergen do? He goes out and redeems himself after an issue last year at Watkins Glen and puts a freaking 11-second beatdown on dudes that have been running in this series, Cole Crasher, for 10 or more years. I mean, put a smoke down on those guys.
Sounds reminiscent of Mexico City. Sounds reminiscent of how else have we been? Sonoma. I mean, come on.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere he's doing
everywhere.
That. Yep.
So, Cole Cusimano, do you still have an issue with this guy winning all these races and being in the playoffs, my friend?
I never had an issue with that.
Okay.
No, especially
just trying to stir it up, man.
No, but I mean, he's just on a remarkable run with these road courses.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's only one driver in NASCAR since the electronic timing and scoring has been introduced that has won 2 races or more by more than 10 seconds of margin. SVG.
Oh, wait a minute.
What the hell did you just say?
This season.
Winning 2 races by more than 10 seconds each.
Yes. In a single season.
In a single season.
SVG.
No one has done it except
Yes.
for SVG.
That's per Seth Eggert, by the way. I can't take credit for that.
Not Jeff Gordon, not Tony Stewart, not Tim Richmond, not Darrell Waltrip, not Mark Martin.
Since timing and scoring was introduced, so it doesn't go back quite that far, obviously. That guys have won races by multiple laps.
Yeah. Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I see what you're
SVG?
saying. What was it? 2005? What was it? 2005? Is that the number I saw when it was scoring and timing?
Come
Where
on,
they really?
it has to be before that.
It sounds like
it
man.
was
But
0405.
yeah,
in that
I know.
What?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I want
At least mid-90s. Holy cow.
And listen, man, what this guy is doing is absolutely bananas. He's improving on the ovals. I get it. The series was based on ovals, but I don't give a damn if they're riding alligators through people's garage in Southern California. I don't know what the hell that means. I just said it, damn it. But if he succeeds, whatever NASCAR throws his way, this guy can win at it. And you can say he's a road course specialist. I don't give a crap what you call the guy. Call him a freaking 4-time winner this year, 5-time overall on road courses. This is his first full season with Trackhouse. He's a freaking rookie. No rookie's ever done this. Ever. Kokusumano's got stats. I got stats. Here's another stat for you, Freak Nation. According to my good friend ChatGPT,
Here we go. Wow.
on a per-race basis, all right, SVG boasts the highest winning percentage. That's 33.3% on road courses. That's in Cup history.
Okay.
How many freaking Major League Baseball players would like to have a 330 batting average?
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
There's not many out there.
That's more than double Kyle Larson or Marcus Ambrose back in the day. Only Tim Richmond, speaking of back in the day, comes close at 31.3%. He also leads an average driver rating. That's 113.8 among road course performers in the Cup Series. That's data available since 2005, eclipsing Ambrose and Chase Elliott. Yeah, Chase Elliott's your favorite driver there, Cole Cusimano.
My favorite. I don't know. He's the people's favorite driver. And he had a pretty rough day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finished 26th, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah. Not a good run for the MPD.
So congratulations to SVG. Where do we? You have this lined up how I sent it to you, Cody?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Well, I don't even remember how the hell I sent it to you, man. We're really going to throw it.
So much for that.
Hey-o.
Real quick, though, tidbit on Chase Elliott. Isn't Watkins Glen his most successful road course track?
Yep. So he got his first career win. He has 2 wins there total.
Okay. I thought there was something to be said of that 26 finish, just so not typical.
Yeah.
Really off
Hey,
base.
Cody, let's put you on camera, my friend. What's this first soundbite from SVG? That'll help me know how you loaded these damn things, all right? Do you know?
All right. For SVG, you got breaking collarbone.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about that because that'll dovetail into the whole Connor Zilisch situation. So Connor Zilisch breaks his collarbone. We all saw this falling out of his Xfinity Series car after his win. And I told Crasher today, I'm not going to play that video. We've seen it enough. I don't want to see it again.
It's gruesome.
It's painful.
Yeah.
It hurts. You see Connor Zilisch do that stiff finger pose that you've seen Tua do with Miami when he had the concussions on the field.
You've seen it with several NBA and NFL injuries. It's gruesome. You know that they're knocked out, and it's just, you don't want to relive that.
But the good news is his teammate with Trackhouse has lived and driven through a broken collarbone, and that's SVG.
Yeah, so I broke my collarbone 2021, left side, mine was a bit out by the AC. I did a bit more damage to my shoulder, and then also I had a fake ligament put in. But I had a weekend off, and then I raced the next week. So pretty much what he's going to go through. And yeah, but once the plate's in there, it's stronger than the bone was, So I'd get a plate put in and then take it out at the end of the year. But yeah, it's obviously going to be in pain. My biggest problem was the belts, tightening of the belts. I could really feel the plate through the skin, and it was a horrible feeling. But I raced the next week and did pretty well. So yeah, for sure, with some good doctors and some good drugs, he'll get through the race fine.
Love it. Oh, that just doesn't sound enjoyable.
No.
Shane van Gisbergen, your winner for Watkins Glen today, talking about his experience of dealing with a broken collarbone in a race car. And, Crasher, I'm sorry, I've just got to say it. Have you had a broken collarbone, Cole?
No, I've not broken anything.
I've been very rarely have I broken anything in this fantastic life of mine. But 2 or 3 years ago, I broke my collarbone on my mountain bike, and it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced at the time. I can't imagine strapping down a freaking shoulder harness on my shoulder and then going racing for 3 freaking hours.
The truth be told, though, you're also a guy that doesn't want to do any sort of drugs unless you absolutely have to. So you were literally sitting up as right as possible with your sling in a recliner like, nope, I'm fine. Promise, totally fine. Meanwhile, you're in massive pain. Come on.
Crasher, honestly, that was the drugs talking.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, then.
Crasher's making me out to be some kind of freaking hero. I am not that guy. If I'm feeling pain somewhere, I'm going up into my freaking magic closet and I'm finding something that says, take care of this issue in my freaking body. I'm that guy. Are you kidding me?
I swear I thought you were trying to be somewhat drug-free.
Well, when the drugs would roll off and I would kind of sneeze, it was like someone was taking a freaking boat paddle at the back of my shoulder. But yeah, no, I'm that guy. You kidding me?
Okay.
I'm not some big ass freaking. I'm not that guy, man. I am not that guy that likes a whole hell of a lot of pain. Hey, man, we'll hear more from Shane van Gisbergen, Will Power, and his team, SVG's team owner, Justin Marks. Some incredible things that he has to say about this driver and things that you don't hear other team owners say about their drivers because they don't have SVG. Will Power's pissed. We'll get to that. More freaks next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's. We help, you save.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared tempers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at WWTRaceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate, Illinois.
Fans, it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with SpeedFreaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to Speed Freaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network.
Speed Freaks, motorsports radio redefined.
Shane van Gisbergen wins Watkins Glen. We'll hear more from him and his owner, Justin Marks. But first, a segment brought to you by good friends at Lucas Oil. Go to lucasoil.com. Check out a line of products at lucasoil.com that'll keep your rides. I'm talking two-wheel. What about your ski boat? What about your F-250? Hell yes. Go to lucasoil.com. Inside your engine, outside your engine. They have the products to keep your rides on the road at lucasoil.com. All right, more from Shane van Gisbergen. This guy goes out and wins his 4th road course race this year. 5 overall. He's a rookie there, Skipjack. This is Shane van Gisbergen talking about his 4 record wins as a rookie and being compared to some of the legends.
It means everything. That's why I moved here, and that's why I guess Justin believed in me and he knew I could do this. And yeah, it's like I've changed my life to come and do this and to come and make true of what everyone believed in me and to execute myself and get everything right. It's that's why I go racing. And as I said, like sharing it with those people and seeing how much it means to the guys who work every week so hard on the car and their pit stops. And yeah, it's so cool. It means the world to everyone. And it normally hits me, on the plane ride home or 4 a.m. after a few beers. But yeah, I try to reflect on it, but I also try and get to the next week pretty quick as well. And I'll try not to tweet at 4 a.m. tonight, but this morning. But I do nowadays. Maybe I'm too old, getting old. But I just try and reflect and take in the moment a bit more. And today was really special. I never had my dog in Victory Lane before, and my dad as well. He hasn't been able to travel all year, being sick, and to have him here for the next 3 weeks and have a win with him, it's just really cool to have that moment.
I'll be honest with you, Freak Nation, 3-shot, Cody, that was 2 sound bites that I put together. And Shane van Gisbergen is one of the most humble dudes you'll ever meet, to a point where it's almost uncomfortable how you watch him and he doesn't want to be there talking about himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
absolutely.
You can see a little bit of personality trait in that, like he'll kind of fidget like this, and
I asked him straight up at Daytona for the 500 preview about being shy, and he says, "Yeah, I am." I said, "Well, good luck. If you go out and win some G-damn races there, Skipjack, you're going to have to deal with it a whole hell of a lot more than what you're doing right now." Getting back to more Shane van Gisbergen. Again, he goes out and wins Watkins Glen, his 4th race win of the season, 5 overall in the Cup Series. This is his first rookie season. His first season, he's, of course, a rookie. Here's SVG talking about other drivers and how they've improved on road courses.
I just think they're good anyway, I think the difference has been that I'm with the team full-time this year, and I've been able to develop the setup and fine-tune it to the way I want. And last year, I kind of just jumped in and got the Trackhouse car delivered to Core League, and then the Core League guys would run it, whereas this year, I'm all involved in the setup, trying to learn every week, and I really feel like as a team we've been able to tailor the car to my needs, and I think we have gotten better rather than anything else. I think we turn up to the track, we know what our tools are, our tuning tools. I know what I want the car to feel like, and this year, like this Monday, was a really intense meeting, trying to improve on what we had last year, and got here on yesterday, and the car felt night and day different. So yeah, I think it's just us as a team getting better.
Again, there's your winner, Shane van Gisbergen. 4 race wins for 2025 as a rookie, Cole Cusimano.
I got to put his dominance in perspective for those watching and listening out here for SVG on the road courses. So in this current next-gen Gen 7 era in the Cup Series, there have been 22 road course races. He's made half those starts, so 11 starts, 5 wins. He has the most laps led with 285. And an 8.2 average finish. Those are all series best marks. He has a 45% win rate, 55% top 2 rate, That's just unheard of in this this sanctioning of NASCAR, to have this sort of success on these style of tracks. It's just really, like, what we're witnessing right now is really historic, and it just should be embraced.
Yep.
Yeah,
It should be, yes. Oh, wow. Especially with a personality like his. You can't hate that guy. He's absolutely an amazing person. He's so good to the guys in the garage. He's so good away from the garage. It's just, there's everything to love about this guy. And don't even start saying that he's the one that makes road course racing boring. No, he doesn't. He's good. He has refined this craft so well. And now guys are asking him for advice. I don't know how much he's giving them, but he is so damn good at keeping the rubber on the road, and he's just seemingly flawless with doing it. The other guys got to figure it out. Got to figure it out quick, because there are road courses in the playoffs. There are road courses here to stay. You're not going to have them lifted off.
Well, that's where I'm going, Crasher. I'm curious if NASCAR's already thinking about a SVG rule.
No, jeez, no.
Right?
No, not. They want this. They want him to succeed.
Do.
They want the exposure. They want the the international drivers coming in here and making a name for themselves. So no, there's not going to be any rules for that.
You heard SVG mention his dad in that last comment, and this is a bonkers story. Again, the time apart from his old man is, again, tough for any of us. You heard that his dad was ill. Well, his dad, as he said, lost his wife, SVG's mom. And there were other issues, but having his dad there today for this win was very special.
He came to Chicago, and then he came 2 or 3 times last year. But yeah, it's been pretty difficult. He lost his wife, my mother, and then his sister, and then his mum a month or so ago. So it's been a really rough run for Dad, and yeah, it's hard to support him when I'm on the other side of the world. That's probably why I'm the most homesick, So, and then my sister's moved away as well, so he's kind of by himself all of a sudden. So yeah. It's I try and talk to him every day, and yeah, to have him here, and like he was almost in tears too. So it's really special to share that, because yeah, we're a long way from home.
That's so stoic.
It is.
I would be bawling my ass off.
I have chills. That's really sad,
I know.
Whoa, you're watching. I don't know how to compare it. Maybe it's maybe like from my standpoint. Let's say that Henley, our daughter, goes over to Europe and plays on one of the better European teams, and she's kicking ass, one of that crazy stats in goal, and I can't go see her play. Setting all kinds of, as an American in Europe, setting all kinds of crazy marks. He's doing the same thing here in the United States, as his dad's a freaking 17-hour plane flight away, watching this guy make headlines.
Sick and losing his closest relatives. You don't wish that on anyone. Oh.
We have Justin Mark ready to go? All right. Justin Mark, of course, Trackhouse team owner. He's never speechless, and I'm not saying he's speechless here, but you can tell when he's asked about grasping what his driver, Shane van Gisbergen, is doing. He would like to fill it with many more words, but it's interesting what he says about SVG here.
It's hard to, because, it's like what he's doing right now is sort of why he's in the car, because we feel like we had an opportunity to do this. But when these wins just keep coming in the way that they are, and the fact that, the rest of the series, the rest of the drivers are watching him and getting better, but he's getting better too, and it just seems like they just can't do anything with him right now, it's just this amazing thing to watch. I forgot your question. I was thinking. It's hard to absorb, because like I said, seeing it actually happen and seeing how the industry responds, and as we kind of prepare through the week and we look at the race, and you never want to take anything for granted. You never want to go into a race weekend like thinking that it's easy or that you're going to win or something like that, because it's so difficult to do it. But to watch him continue to execute at such a high level is why we've made a big commitment to him, and why he's in this race car. And I think, I'm excited for the sponsors and for Chevrolet, because we had to sell it into them, and we really, it wasn't just us. I mean, we had to get a lot of people to come and support it, and we got in front of them and said, look, this is what we think is possible. So seeing it come together is, it's a great story for our business and great for our partners, and it's going to be hard to really understand the gravity of it until we are removed from it for some time. Right now, we're just enjoying it.
He was also quoted earlier, and I'm going to read the quote verbatim. the best road course racer that I've ever seen. When he's done with us and walks away, he's going to walk away as the best road course racer that this sport has ever seen. Okay, I understand. This sport was based on ovals, Cole, Crasher. I get it. But there are road courses, there's street courses in this series. Thank goodness.
Yes.
And you bring in a guy, he's a rookie doing this at 36.
A rookie.
Yeah.
Yep. Tied for the most wins in the series right now at Denny Hamlin. That's unheard of for a rookie. That's just ridiculous.
22 playoff points, something along those lines. It's just, yeah.
He has an 18-point buffer, I believe, in this opening round of 16.
Brad Keselowski doesn't have a win this year. Chris Buescher doesn't have a win this year.
Kyle Busch doesn't have a win.
Kyle Busch doesn't have a win this year. I could go on and on. It is so fun.
All of those guys, good road course racers, too.
Another dude that can crush it on a road course, street course, is Will Power.
Huh, same part of the world, ish.
What?
Yeah, Australia, New Zealand.
Oh, got
the
it.
South Pacific.
Thank
just
you.
Saying.
All right. He joins us, and he is pissed. Is he pissed off at his team owner? Calling Roger Penske. That's next. You don't want to miss it. Coming up, SpeedFreaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Here's to the Dream Chasers, the Glass Ceiling Breakers, the Minivan Mothers, the Schedule Jugglers, and everyday All-Stars at the top of their game. We see you making moves, taking names, and rewriting the rules to find your own way. To all the women who keep our world running smooth, we keep you on the move.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Do you have an idea for a book? Fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared timbers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at WWTRaceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate, Illinois.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Today, Will Power asks the question, oh captain, my captain, dare you drop me? Dare you get rid of the man who has led this team year after year, who has more poles, who is faster than any driver in the history of this series, who will win once again? Will Power returns to victory lane and puts Penske back on the top step of the podium.
Are you kidding me? Will Buxton calling that race. Lee Diffie calling the race at Watkins Glen, man.
Amazing.
Those foreigners are kicking ass with their calls in motorsports. And everything Crasher Will Buxton was saying, we're all thinking, right?
Dare you drop me? Since his title, his championship in 2022, Will Power has elevated himself over both teammates. I know Joseph Newgarden has 2 Indy 500 wins in that time, but still, Will Power has more points, more wins, more top fives, and more top tens. How are you going to get rid of this guy? The last 4 years, he's been your number one driver. Don't you dare, Roger. Don't you dare.
And Will is feeling the same heat because going into this race, and right now, Will Power is not signed for next year. And he's been the most successful driver as of late. And I say
4
late,
years.
4 years.
4 years from the team.
Yet
He's been with the team, by the way, for 17 years total. Did you know that?
But he's not signed.
But
no,
he's not signed.
He's not signed.
Loyalty? Much?
When you watch these Will Power sound bites, man, you just can tell that this guy is ready to freaking explode. And he does in one sound bite, which is awesome. We love Will Power, and we're scheduled to have him sometime this week, and we'll have that interview for you next week. But the first sound bite comes from Will talking about earning another win for Penske.
No, I have no clue. I don't know. And
all right, yeah, stop that.
Yeah,
I didn't set that up right. Yeah, I didn't set that up right. Earning another win for Roger Penske. Will this win help him sign a new contract with Roger Penske? Will asks or answers with this.
No, I have no clue. I don't know. And nothing else to say, man. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Destroying the sport and his own race team, one race at a time.
Oh, man.
I jokingly tweeted, even though I don't think anything's a joke anymore, earlier today, Sunday, that it's odd to me. How many times can one team that just so happens to also be owned by the owner that owns the series, how many mistakes can actually happen in Penske perfect times over the last calendar year?
Right.
Not just the last calendar year. We can even go back to last year in which they had the whole push-to-pass issue. It's just mind-blowing. You need to preserve Penske, Team Penske. You need to preserve the bright light, the only bright light that you have allegedly right now. That's Will Power. You can't get rid of him because you need all the positive momentum that you can possibly muster up. I know David Malukas is your little boy over there in the Gallagher car, and he's going to be your next
Who
ride.
we like very much.
We love David Malukas,
Yes.
absolutely. But if you go back, and somebody pointed this out, it might have been Nathan Brown with the Indy Star, that if you go back through history, this is the same situation that Joseph Newgarden was in when he was kind of the driver in waiting to head up to Team Penske. Well, he had several years of driving for another team. I believe it was Fisher, Carpenter. He had several years. Give David one more year and let Will go out in a much better mode.
Will Power continues on. This is about proving that he could win at this age. And again, watch him. He's ready to explode. It's willpower after his win in Portland.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to, I won 3 races last year. So if you're a team, if you're waiting on me to know if I'm good enough, I don't know what you're thinking. Like, if you're actually waiting, it's like, yeah, is this guy, I'm not sure if this guy's good enough. Just go back to last year. You'll know.
Man.
Oh, he is furious.
You could probably feel the tension in the room. I wish I was there for that.
No joke. Okay, so how things work after these races with IndyCar, we've got a deal in which we get the winners for our shows. We were not able to get Will after this, but we were communicating with Penske PR. Everything was good to go. And like Kenny said, we have something scheduled for this week. I think I'm seeing now why we didn't get Will. He was done. He didn't want to answer these questions. And if you don't have to, and you can still put something on hold for later on in the week, I get it. If I was in his shoes, I think I would have done the same thing. Sorry, Speed Freaks, let's go later. Whoa. Whoa.
I want to hear that again, and I'll set it up once again. This is Will Power he was asked about proving that he belongs on Roger Penske next year.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to, I won 3 races last year. So if you're a team, if you're waiting on me to know if I'm good enough, I don't know what you're thinking. Like, if you're actually waiting, it's like, yeah, is this guy, I'm not sure if this guy's good enough. Just go back to last year. You'll know.
And then he slouches back in his seat. I mean, that's just, wow.
I love it.
I do too. Not going to lie. I do too.
This is this might be part of the same question, but this is I couldn't tell who this was asking this in the press conference, but I wanted to play the question, and then Will Power will answer. You should be able to understand what he says here. Again, this is post-race in Portland. Go ahead. You ready to go with that one, Cody? All right, go ahead.
The fact that you're the only driver on the team that's won, do you kind of feel like no matter what happens, you've kind of left everything out there and kind of put the decision in someone else's hands?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's my decision.
Okay. Fair.
Look at that.
And
Look at
then that's a plot twist.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
That's a big plot twist. What if he just doesn't want to go back to Roger? Sucks, though, because I think it was Bob Pockrass that put out on X on Friday a video clip with Will Power saying, Roger's not letting me talk to anybody till the end of this month. So August 31st, probably after midnight, August 31st, so September 1st, Will can finally start talking to others. I hope that there's something that's been going on behind closed doors, because this guy deserves a top ride. Not just any ride, he deserves a top ride.
Crasher, what you just said may have just gone right over some people's head. Roger Penske is not allowing Will Power to talk to another team about employment until the end of the year.
The end of the season.
End of the season. So he's going, it's like us going into December 31st saying, we have no sponsors. We can't talk to our sponsors until January 1st to come on and be a part of Speed Freaks. No, we're working those phone lines from June on. That is just what an S way to treat a freaking very popular, straight up badass.
Multi-time champion, in line to get the most wins ever. He already has the most poles ever. He got with solidifying another one at WWT Raceway this year. So yeah, it's just mind blowing. I get the age thing, but that you're not in a position, Roger and company, you're not in a position to allow that to be your excuse this year. You've had a massively destructive season. You need to keep any positive momentum that you have. And that positive momentum is Will Power.
This last soundbite, again, Will Power, you can just read between the lines talking about, does this win feel any different?
To me, it was business as normal, honestly. You know, I've been in that position so many times in my career. And like I said, I'm driving the best I ever have. It's simple as that. I'm not slowing down. I'm not slower. I'm faster. My toolbox is so big as far as understanding the cars and racecraft and all that. So, yeah, that's me. I'm different to everyone. I guess I'm different to some people. I never stop working at it. My passion. I love it. That's why I'm still winning.
That was a pitch right there.
Yes. Who do you think he was referring to, Kenny?
We know who he's referring to.
I'm different than some people.
He was referring to his teammate, Joseph Newgarden. Freak Nation, we've got probably we have so many favorite drivers and interviews that we've done over the years, 25 years, which we're celebrating this year, Freak Nation. And Will Power has been top 5 ever since he's been coming to the Freak Nation. And if we lose that guy from the IndyCar series with at least a, God, I hate this name, retirement tour or a goodbye tour, it's like, come on, Raj. Just set it up, right? Set it up for one more year to where he could say, don't just cut him loose. If you're going to cut him loose after one more year, Skipjack.
Yeah, give him that opportunity to. And Will did say, though, it could be his decision. What if he just wants to leave the team? But he wants to do it on his own. He wants to, I think his whole retirement thing. He's not even talking retirement, actually.
No.
Why are we even bringing that word up? Because he just said he's racing at his best. He keeps at it. So, yeah, Will needs to go out on his own merits, his own style, whatever he wants to do. He's still got so much left to give to the sport.
Freak Nation, what the hell were you doing at 15 years old? 15 years old on a road course like Watkins Glen, running on those General tires? Well, Tristan McKee, 15 years old, was putting a beat down on Butterbean and company. He joins us and more on Connor Zilisch and Dustin Long checking in from Watkins Glen. It's all coming up for the next hour and 15 minutes. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Hour and 20 minutes, Freak Nation. Right here, Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Hey, race fans, it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with Speed Freaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to Speed Freaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network.
Here's to the Dream Chasers, the Glass Ceiling Breakers, the Minivan Mothers, the Scheduled Jugglers, and everyday all-stars at the top of their game. We see you making moves, taking names, and rewriting the rules to find your own way. To all the women who keep our world running smooth, we keep you on the move.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared tempers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate Illinois.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, you may not know the name, but we certainly do. What does this guy do? Tristan McKee joining us here in the Freak Nation. He goes out, wins a whole lot of ARCA and General Tire money at Watkins Glen. Tristan McKee joining us here in the Freak Nation. You go out and win the ARCA race on Friday afternoon. Not a whole lot of people know your name, but with all these NASCAR heads watching you, you made a hell of a name for yourself. But why couldn't you have won a little earlier to where you would have been the youngest driver to ever win the ARCA Series and not Todd Gilliland, Tristan?
Yeah, I wish we could have made it work that way, but obviously I just turned 15 last Sunday, so the next race after my birthday was this race. So wish we could have timed that a little bit differently, but it's still cool to be that close to it. And, you know, at that point, it's just so close. It just depends on where your birthday is and what the next race is and stuff like that. So I wish you could have made it work a little bit differently, but I'm still super thankful to have gotten a win in my debut and just being so young, just turned 15.
15 years and 5 days. Right. The reason we bring up Todd Gilliland, for those who may not know, is there's a 3-day difference in Todd's first win versus your first win, Tristan. Todd was 15 years and 2 days. You're 15 years and 5 days. That's splitting hairs. The bottom line is we see your win this weekend. We see Tim's win this weekend at the Knoxville Nationals. Connor Zilisch in the Xfinity also at Watkins Glen. We are witnessing right in front of our eyes the next generation of racers. This is something that's really cool. I think that elevates your win even more. That's my opinion of all these young guys winning on the same weekend. Now this is what people need to write about. You guys are the next generation.
Yeah, we're definitely the next ones coming up, you know, all the younger generation, just like you said, Connor, you know, Ryan Timms, all of us that are, you know, coming up. We're working hard we're obviously all kind of doing different things and different racing. So we're all working hard trying to, you know, get to that next step. And it's obviously showing this weekend and just in the past few weekends in the past year, really. So we're all working hard and everyone's working hard to move their way up the ladder.
But it's not like winning is foreign to you, and especially at Watkins Glen. You just won over there in Trans Am TA2 a couple of weeks prior to your ARCA win. So you've got TA2 going. You've got some, I believe, late model stuff going. You've got ARCA. Your dream, I'm assuming, is to go into stock cars, into NASCAR, but your sports car stuff is pretty spectacular as well. Any way to balance both?
Yeah, the road course kind of Trans Am stuff is new to me this year. It's a different discipline, and I think it's, you know, talking with Josh and all those guys, we all think it's really important to learn that new discipline, because when you start moving up the ranks into, you know, truck, Xfinity, and Cup and stuff like that, it's super important to be a really, really good road racer. And there's a lot of road racing in the NASCAR series now, so that's a big part of, you know, making the playoffs. Just like you see SVG and Connor, you know, SVG's already locked into the playoffs. He has 3 or 4 or so wins in the Cup Series. So definitely a new discipline for me this year, and I'm learning a lot doing it. So it was cool to, you know, go 2 for 2 at Watkins Glen in my career. So I won the Trans Am race, like you said there. So it feels really cool to, you know, polish my skills in the road racing stuff.
Tristan McKee joining us here in the Freak Nation, won the ARCA race Friday afternoon at Watkins Glen, brought to you by good friends at General Tires. And you bring up Josh Wise. Josh Wise, when he was not too much older than you, joined us here in the Freak Nation about 25 years ago. And what he's done off the track for drivers like yourself, I don't think you can actually explain perfectly and what he means to drivers. But Josh Wise, inside the circle of young drivers like yourself, he's so important to you guys. Can you explain to the Freak Nation what Josh Wise does and has done for young drivers like yourself and other drivers that have went on to prominence?
Yeah, Josh and Scott Speed as well, and Lauren and all the guys back at the tech center, Dan Stratton, Dan Jensen, they all put in so much time to help us, the younger generation, like we were kind of talking about a few minutes ago. So they do so much for us when it comes down to fitness, life in general, racing, just every little thing. So Scott's helped me a lot with the road racing stuff that I've been doing this year, and so is Josh, and they're just a huge help to any person that comes through the program, and I feel like anyone who kind of comes through there and they excel higher and higher, and we're always polishing our skills in every little thing. We go karting, we go to the gym, we do all this stuff. So it's really a really good opportunity for me to be in there, and as well as all the other people.
All right, let's go back to that victory at Watkins Glen. And when Brent Cruz is rolling to this victory, allegedly, and then he has a car issue, how quick did you find out that Brent Cruz was stalled on the track and now you've got a shot to win at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, well, we got that last caution, and the restart prior to that was at the beginning of the second stage, and I thought we had a pretty good car. I got kind of stuck behind Tyler there on that initial run in the second stage, so Brent kind of got away from us when I was behind Tyler. I ended up getting past Tyler, and then once I got past Tyler, I was kind of staying equal, just kind of maintaining with Brent. He was obviously way far ahead. I wouldn't have caught him, but we got that last caution, and I knew we had a decent shot. I'd be lining up for a row. Good. So once I saw him drop out, he had some battery issues. I was really excited to see that we would take over the lead and had an even better shot at it. So got a little luck on our side, but sometimes that's really good,
That's part of racing, yes. I mean, so what did you learn right there? I mean, you were also racing pretty hard throughout the race. You knew, because I believe you are instinctual with this for your racing career moving forward, you knew just stay here. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Did you learn something about that? Like you just plain never know. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, for sure. I was racing at Hickory last weekend for 50,000 in the Cars Tour and the late models, and we led like 115 laps or so out of 125. And I was talking to Lauren, and he told me, like, sometimes it's meant to be and sometimes it's not. At Hickory, we were definitely the winning car. We led almost the whole race, and we didn't get the win. Here, we maybe weren't the winning car, but we ended up getting the win. So you just never give up. You just keep on pushing, and you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, it's never over till it's over. So you just got to keep pushing, and sometimes you get what you're not supposed to, and sometimes you get what you're supposed to. So it's definitely something I learned, and just never give up.
Freak Nation, he won the General Tire 100 Watkins Glen in the ARCA Series Friday afternoon. Tristan McKee joining us here in the Freak Nation. He's 15 years old, Freak Nation, and currently leads the TA2 points in the Trans Am Series and is out just taking all kinds of money from people, or all kinds of money from people, I should say. Tristan, at 15 years old, who are some of the legends, or who are some of the drivers that you look up to at such a young age now?
Yeah, I would say, I was never really around the road course side of it when I was still growing up now, but I was always following the oval stuff, and that's what I've always done. So, all those kind of legends like Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, just any of those guys who were the best of their time. Also, Kurt Busch is another one that I really look up to, Kyle Busch as well. So they're all legends in their own ways. So definitely look up to all of those guys, and you can take little bits from each and every one of them to make yourself better and kind of see what they've done in their past and what you could have done better.
Okay. Did I hear Lane McKee in there? Him too, right?
Yeah.
Dad has to have taught you something, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. He does. He taught me so much, and none of this would have been possible without him. So we've done everything from go-karts to bandos, legends, late models, now the ARCA stuff, the Trans Am stuff. So we've been together for the whole ride. So I'm obviously super thankful to him as well.
Is he pissed off you didn't go two-wheel racing?
No. He was definitely a lot safer. My grandpa, I actually did one motorcycle race when I was, I don't even know, maybe 5 or 6. My grandpa was like, why don't you get him a go-kart with 4 wheels? And he was like, yeah, that's a lot safer. He's broke a lot of bones in his body and stuff like that. So I'm glad we took the path that we did, and it's definitely a lot safer.
Wow.
Yes. Good call, Grandpa.
Freak Nation, Tristan McKee winning the General Tire 100 Friday afternoon ARCA Series, Watkins Glen. Not some old small oval in the backwoods, Freak Nation. A hell of a road course that a lot of legendary drivers haven't won, frankly.
True.
But it's great to get Tristan McKee here in the Freak Nation. Again, Cole, Crasher, what were you guys doing at 15 years old?
I had to actually count back. I'm like, where was I? A freaking freshman in high school? That's just mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared. I was trying everything in high school to just do different clubs and stuff, but I didn't know what was coming up in life. This kid seems to have it together. A lot of these young drivers do.
My mom was still coming in and scratching my back.
My baby.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
well, now running a freaking stock car. Hell no. Are you embarrassed by that, Cole?
Not
you
at
turned
all.
red. Look at this.
I was laughing at that. That was funny.
Cole turned red. Cole's going, what's wrong with that? My mom still does.
That was peak NASCAR fandom for me back at 15 years old. So
that was it?
Oh, I lived, breathed NASCAR back then. It was actually a bad obsession. Yeah.
No, it's not. No. It led to your job. It's not a bad.
Yeah, you're here. Freak Nation, coming up next hour, more on Connor Zilisch, SVG, and Will Power. And we hear from Dustin Long, NASCAR Insider's got some great takes on the weekend at at Watkins Glen. That's all coming up. Second hour of the Freaks.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared timbers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate, Illinois.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Here's to the Dream Chasers, the Glass Ceiling Breakers, the Minivan Mothers, the Schedule Jugglers, and everyday All-Stars at the top of their game. We see you making moves. taking names, and rewriting the rules to find your own way. To all the women who keep our world running smooth, we keep you on the move. Hey, race fans, it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with SpeedFreaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to SpeedFreaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
SpeedFreaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
I don't know what you're thinking. Like, if you're actually waiting, it's like, yeah, is this guy? I'm not sure if this guy's good enough. Just go back to last year, and you'll know.
Yeah, it's so cool. It means the world to everyone, and it normally hits me, on the plane ride home or 4 a.m. after a few beers. But yeah.
You know what? I'm very comfortable wearing this, and if you think I'm a oh well.
Try again.
Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios, driven by General Tire.
Rock on, baby!
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, coming up, Dustin Long, NBC Sports NASCAR insider with the latest on Connor Zilisch, Shane van Gisbergen, and more. He'll be checking in from Watkins Glen. That's in about 15 minutes. Also coming up, we'll have a discussion about, are we watching open wheel and freaking stock car history with two drivers that are not born in the United States of America? Know where I'm going? We'll get with that coming up. We'll also hear from SVG and Willpower. I just got to hear that. Do we have that, the Willpower and all that stuff ready to go again there, Cody? Willpower goes out and wins the Portland Grand Prix. And he does it without a contract for next year with Roger Penske. And coming up in moments, I want to play this soundbite where the guy just had enough. So we'll be playing that here shortly from Willpower. I want to say hello to the Freak Radio Network. 25 years of doing this. June of this year, man, we celebrate 25 years, and here we are, Freak Nation, still the Freaks here in the Freak Nation. If you miss us on YouTube or live on Facebook, we're there for you Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern Pacific on Racer Network. So, man, you can't get around us. We're here for you, Freak Nation. All right, so Willpower. Dude is a madman. How many championships, Crasher?
2.
2? All right. Willpower on... frankly, does he have to? Is this the F-bomb? Is this the F-bomb? Which one is this? All right. No, I mean, the F-bomb. Let's use that one. Proving win. There we go. Yeah, the, SVG. Excuse me, Shane. All right, we got a freaking Kiwi and an Aussie. I get them all both mixed up. Willpower. He just had enough when he was asked about proving. Was this win a proving win that he should grab another contract?
Yeah, I mean, if you have to, I won 3 races last year. So if you're a team, if you're waiting on me to know if I'm good enough, I don't know what you're thinking. Like, if you're actually waiting, it's like, yeah, is this guy? I'm not sure if this guy's good enough. Just go back to last year, and you'll know.
I love it.
Oh, we love Wilson.
Oh yeah, Willpower. We're slated to get him middle of the week this week, and we'll run it, of course, Sunday night. Willpower here in the Freak Nation. Connor Zilisch scared the bejesus out of a lot of people Saturday afternoon as he won the Xfinity Series race. And when he was celebrating, Connor Zilisch, and I said this at the top of the show, I think. Did I say this at the top of the show? I don't want to show the video.
Right, you did.
I just don't. I don't need to see that again and again and again. If you want to see it yourself, you can go find it somewhere online.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Connor Zilisch has been coming in here for 3 years. When he was just starting out in Trans Am TA2, right, Crasher?
Yep.
He made his first visit into the Freak Nation. So I would say he's more than just a driver that we know. He's a little bit of a friend. So we took it hard when we saw him fall out of his car, slips out of the window of his car, and for all intents and purposes, falls on his head and his shoulder collarbone, breaks his collarbone, come to find out. And what scared us so much, and Cole, you can talk about this from your standpoint, we're watching this happen. Cole's doing his side hustle at Amici's Pizza, and you can't get updates on Connor Zilisch, and because it looked like it could be very, very bad. When you see him and his hands, fingers do this stiffness, you just know that his brain was affected with that fall. And a guy like yourself that lives and breathes NASCAR, you couldn't get the information of really, was he okay?
No, it was extremely busy at the restaurant. So had the race on. I saw that Connor Zilisch won. Obviously, I noticed the post-race got cut short. I thought that was really weird. And then I look at my phone. I have people that don't even watch NASCAR blowing me up saying, did you see that? Did you see what happened? I'm like, no. So I ran to the back. I saw what happened, and I'm quite literally shaking as I'm serving all these tables because, you see the fall, and you see his hand, seize up like that. And I'm like, my mom's a pessimist, so I'm thinking the worst. He's paralyzed. And I'm like, I need an update now. And I felt so helpless that I didn't know what was going on. But thankfully, everything was okay, and it was just a really, really scary moment. Oh, man. Just a generational talent. I can go into numbers here if you want in a little bit, but
sure.
Yeah.
You go for it.
Yeah.
Because yes, I think we all were fearful that he was paralyzed, and it just these are numbers that we're like, we want to see this continue.
We all know what he's touted as generational talent. Over his last 11 races, so going back to the end of May, he has not placed lower than 5th in those 11 races. 5 wins, 3 runner-ups. 2.2 average finish, and laps led in all 11 starts. So the dominance is off the charts. He is here. He is legit. And what's really interesting as well, I hope he has not missed a race, obviously, following this collarbone break. But he missed a race due to a wreck at Talladega, and this 11-race stretch began after that race he missed. So pretty insane to rebound like that.
I hate to throw a wrench in this. There's one soundbite that we didn't play from Justin Marks.
Okay.
It's the one There's 2 that we haven't played, Cody. There's one with Justin Marks talking about how there was no fill-in driver. We've got that one, and then Justin Marks on Zilich's future, right? Which one do you either one? All right. Let's go on Justin Marks talking about Zilich's future for the next 3 races, because frankly, Zilisch does not need to run these 3 races in the Xfinity Series to make it the play. He's in the playoffs.
The remainder of the regular season.
Regular season, yes, thank you.
He could be the champion of the regular season, but I think now we need to weigh what's important.
You're team owner of that race car, and of course the boss of Connor Zilisch, Justin Marks, talking about, will he skip those 3 races? What's the future?
And I think it's a discussion that we all have to have. I mean, we haven't really talked about much, obviously, since yesterday. But in the little bit that we've discussed in some of the quiet moments of the last 24 hours, it's going to have to be a group decision. I mean, it's going to have to be, sponsors, Chevrolet, the team, looking for, taking care of his development, taking care of him as a human and as an athlete, and then keeping his motivations high and making sure that he knows that he's got a group of people behind him that are supportive of him. So I think it'll be a group decision. I mean, he's a competitor, so he's already looking at the regular season championship and going, man, if I can, maybe somebody can get in the car, I can, take the green flag at the next race and then get out of the car. Like, how do we do? It's just so fresh right now. But I think it's an important question because he's a huge asset and he's a huge part of the future of the business. And so we have to approach that as such and make sure that we're not hurting any long-term opportunities by taking taking advantage of a short-term opportunity. So that's kind of a long-winded way of saying that we have to just sit down as a group and decide what's best, and which ARM also.
I think that's the most important part right there. The long-term opportunities that's just more important. It's more important than the short-term goals. Yeah.
And I thought that it was strange that they didn't fill the seat today, because that's just not that's just what happens when a driver can't make it. They find a part-time driver to sit in the seat, and I'm talking about Connor Zilisch, who was going to run in the Cup race today, but again with a broken collarbone and other issues that we may not know about, was pulled out of the seat. The car was pulled, didn't make the grid. So Justin Marks was asked specifically about this, and I've got my own opinion after we hear this soundbite from Justin Marks on pulling the car.
That program and what we've built around that 87 car this year is really about Connor, and it's about getting Connor seat time in the Cup Series and starting to prepare for his future. And and I think we talked about some different scenarios, but I think at the end of the day, Red Bull speaks loudly. They're the one that's paying the bill, and we all kind of just powwowed late last night to talk about it, and ultimately just because of the relationships, the partners, because that program's about Connor. Just I think the best thing was to not sort of like dilute that program and that sponsorship and Connor as an athlete by putting somebody else in the car. So it's just, and I left my helmet at home.
Oh well, there it is.
Nice.
I left my helmet at home.
When he said, Red Bull makes the decision, they're the money makers here, that told me that these Cup rides that Connor Zilisch is running this year for Trackhouse, again, it's just part of the deal. So they weren't out any money. It's not like Red Bull was saying, I'm going to pull $200,000 from you, Trackhouse, because he's not going to be in the race car this weekend. So it was like there was no loss there. So let's take him out. Let's don't put somebody in there that really sucks behind boob, and the car finishes 28th. Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could look at it both ways. Red Bull says it's just better to keep the seat vacant, or you could look at it as, hey, let's give an opportunity to another up-and-coming driver. But sometimes the team owners don't get to make that decision. I do believe firmly this was sponsor-driven.
Freak Nation, coming up next. He's been covering NASCAR almost as long as we have, Freak Nation. His name is Dustin Long, a great follow on Twitter for your NASCAR insight. In fact, he was the first one that I saw regarding Connor Zilisch getting into the ambulance and about how he actually sat up, which was kind of a relief to see that on Twitter.
Yes.
From Dustin Long. And he joins us next. SpeedFreaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
SpeedFreaks, motorsports radio redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's. We help, you save.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared tempers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at WWTRaceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate, Illinois.
And it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with SpeedFreaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to SpeedFreaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
This Freakin' segment is brought to you by our friends at Lucas Oil. Now, what automobile do you have in the garage? I bet Lucas Oil could keep that thing fat and happy and on the road. From everyday car care, heavy-duty trucking to agriculture, hot rods, classic cars, motorcycles, and marine, Lucas Oil has what you need to keep those engines, interiors, and exteriors looking like and running like they're supposed to be. For more information, go to the website, lucasoil.com, and find the perfect Lucas Oil product. Keep your rides on the road. So Freak Nation, Dustin Long, NBC Sports, writer, editor, joining us here in the Freak Nation, and we wanted to get somebody on, had boots on the ground there at Watkins Glen for a number of reasons. In particular, of course, on Saturday, with what happened with Connor Zilisch. We'll talk about the SVG win and more, but great go-to on Twitter for your insight to NASCAR, all things NASCAR. Dustin Long joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Dustin, what is the latest outside of maybe what we've seen and heard with Connor Zilisch, the broken collarbone, concussion? What are you hearing and seeing there at Watkins Glen?
Broken collarbone, no concussion. And that was one of the things that Connor talked about was just, his head's okay, his legs were okay. And talking with him during the race, he says, look, I remember getting out of the car and, it was kind of when I was stepping on the windowsill area and my foot kind of got caught and it was slippery from the water the guys were spraying. And all of a sudden I just lost my balance and went over. And he says, I know I had one leg in the car, one leg out of the car. I was at an odd angle. And he goes, the last thing I remember before hitting was, oh boy, I'm worried I'm going to break my leg. Whoa. And so that's what, his last thought was before he came back to, and obviously just a very scary situation. Medics and people were there immediately and took care of him. And, they took him to the infield care center, then took him to a local hospital where he was released last night. And then, here at the track. So, what happens next is still to be determined. Obviously it works that the Xfinity Series has an off weekend this coming week. So that's a week to rest. The next race for the Xfinity Series, August 22nd at Daytona National Speedway. The question there is, yes, he's racing for the regular season championship. He leads the Xfinity standing points by like 7 points on Justin Allgaier. But the question is, do you really, really want to risk a potential further injury or anything else like that at Daytona where you can have those big crashes? Now, ultimately, it's going to be what the doctors determine. But, if for some reason the doctors would clear him in 2 weeks, if you're Justin Marks, do you want your, kind of superstar to be in a situation like that? And look, the regular season championship would be great, for Connor Zilisch. And if he misses Daytona, maybe he still got a chance to do it. I guess one thing I would say is, would it make sense to just sit him out the rest of the regular season for the Xfinity Series? Give him those 3 weeks or so to rest. He's got all the playoff points. He's only going to drop a few spots in the standings. And look, he's won 6 races this year. He should be able to win in the playoffs in advance. So you never know. But, again, for Connor Zilisch, this is just preparation for Cup. And, you certainly don't want to jeopardize such an asset. And I don't want to call the next 3 races meaningless in the Xfinity Series because they mean a lot to a lot of people. But from a perspective of for him, for Connor, he's accomplished so much already. Let's let him rest and move on. Now, talking to Justin Marks after the race tonight, he says, look, we've only had a little bit of conversation on that. And he says, in that, Connor is Connor is an athlete and is a driver. He wants to race. He wants to go. He wants to go. So we'll see. Connor did say, look, my teammate SVG told me that, he raced with a broken collarbone about a week and a half afterwards. And I asked Shane about it in the press conference afterwards, after the race tonight. And he said, yeah, back in 2021, he broke his left collarbone and they put a plate in. And he says it made everything stronger. And he had an off weekend and then he raced the next weekend. He says the hardest part is when you strap the belts and just strapped them tight because there was a lot of pain there. But if you can get through that, that's what he did and continued racing. So, if nothing else, Connor has a teammate he can lean on as he goes through this process the next few weeks.
Dustin Long joining us here in the Freak Nation. Look, I'm 35 plus years older than Connor Zilisch. I broke my collarbone a couple of years ago, and it took me 6 months to heal. I get it. I'm not freaking 19 years old, and I don't know how somebody gets.
You're also not a pro athlete.
I get it.
To be 19 again. To be 19. Right.
But Dustin, you saw what I saw, and everybody else saw when in the National Football League, we've seen quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa. Tua. There you go. When he had the concussion, and on the field, his fingers and arms go like this, and we saw that with him, and you can't tell me there's not a concussion. That just everything points towards it, doesn't it?
He says his head's okay. He said on social media that the CT scans on his head were clear. So, that's all we got to go on at this point. And right. Look, in talking with him, everything seemed fine with him. And today, I know that the Trackhouse people were, wanted to kind of get him out.
Yeah, obviously, it's good to be okay. First of all, the collarbone is probably the best injury I could have had from what happened. So I'm very grateful for all the medics, the people who reached out to me, prayed for me. It certainly does mean a lot to me. So first of all, thank you to everybody for everything. And obviously I don't know the extent of what the next few days and weeks are going to look like. It certainly is an injury that, can heal quicker than maybe some other bones in the body. So grateful for that. Grateful that, my head's okay. My legs are okay. That was definitely scary for me and everybody who saw it.
All I can go on is what he said. And he says, he's got the broken collarbone, he's got his arm in the sling, and everything else looked good.
Now, with Connor Zilisch, of course, that was an amazing race. We have a young winner in ARCA. We have this young winner in Xfinity. Yeah. What can you add to the whole conversation of us witnessing the next generation? Let's go again with the Knoxville Nationals last night. Arguably one of the youngest winners ever there. We are witnessing something that I don't think fan bases are quite ready for, but they should be. These are names that it's okay to start to like them and put your legends on the shelf.
Yeah, and you referenced the ARCA winner here, Tristan McKee, the 15-year-old. He turned 15 years old like 5 days, and then five days later wins the ARCA race. And then we see, Connor Zilisch win for the second year in a row here at Watkins Glen, the Xfinity race. Remember, this is where he made his Xfinity debut last year, won the pole, won the race. So two-time defending winner of the Xfinity Series race at Watkins Glen. Yes, look, when these drivers – it was, we saw it with the Jeff Gordon generation starting at age 4 or 5, Tony Stewart, starting at 4 or 5 years old and getting in go-karts and doing things like that. But now it's even become even more, I don't want to say specialized, but certainly more advanced. And you see a lot of drivers, a lot of kids, you don't see as many of the William Byrons who started at a later age. And was doing the iRacing thing. Obviously, a Rajah Caruth is somebody like that. And there is a path that way that you can be in a little bit later. Look, we're talking about, look at what Josh Berry has done. And he was, if you want to call it a late bloomer in the sense of moving up to Cup at a later age, because he just didn't have the opportunities. I remember several years ago, Dale Earnhardt Jr. basically pleading in a press conference, please, if there's a sponsor out there, let's get Josh Berry in a car and race in the Xfinity Series. And they just couldn't make it work. A guy like Butterbean Queen is 28 years old. That's not typically the age of, a top prospect per se, because you're looking at 16, 17, 18-year-olds with the experience. But look at what Butterbean's done in the ARCA series. So there are a lot of new names. There are a lot of young drivers. The systems that these kids are coming up and how advanced things are. I mean, look, Connor Zilisch went over and competed in Europe in go-karting at like age 12, and his parents sent him away, sent him off there with a mechanic. So, you send off your 12-year-old son to go overseas to go racing. Again, at that point, the focus was trying to get to F1. It wasn't NASCAR. It was F1. And then, Kevin Harvick, he was a teammate with Keelan Harvick, Kevin's son. And Kevin's like, hey, talking to Connor Zilich's father and say, I think you need to go direct him toward the NASCAR path. I think that's going to be a better path for you, and look at where it is. And obviously, look, Keelan's gone overseas and raced there too. So, and look at what Brexton Busch has done and all the experience these young kids get. So, in one sense, they're new names because we're seeing them coming up the ranks at this level. But another in the sense, they're old names because we started to hear about them at an earlier age and starting to see them, especially when you have so many ways that you can watch racing now on your computer, on your iPhone, or your phone, your television, or anything like that. There's so many ways. I mean, look, I recently was watching Indiana Sprint Week because I'm from Indiana. And it was just good to watch that and have that opportunity to see some of that racing. So, yeah, there's so much out there. These guys are drivers are getting so much experience, and it's the next generation is on its way.
I had a feeling. His name is Dustin Long, and my apologies. He is going to run long, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to make Dustin Long a two-parter, Freak Nation. Yeah, he's got more insight to SVG, Connor Zilisch, and the madness that is the NASCAR Cup Series. From some insight, again, he travels with the series, so he's pretty well in bed with all these guys, and he provides some fantastic insight. So it was nice to get Dustin Long in here to provide some insight. So yeah, we'll go more with Dustin Long coming up right here, SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's. We help, you save.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared timbers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at WWTRaceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate, Illinois.
Fans, it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with SpeedFreaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to SpeedFreaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network.
Speed Freaks, motorsports radio redefined.
You're back with the Freaks. This segment brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation. Go to GeneralTire.com. Check out a line of tires to keep all of your rides on the road through the summer heat. All this road travel you've got going on through August. Yeah, man. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. There are several NASCAR insiders that we enjoy for Mad Insight. And one of them, of course, is Dustin Long with NBC Sports, all things NASCAR. And we continue on with our discussion regarding the NASCAR Cup Series and more with Dustin Long, NBC Sports, right here, Lucas Oil Studios.
You just made me think of something that I did not realize. My mind is so conditioned to the feeder series, bringing young drivers into the system. But no, it's 2025. We have people coming from the gaming industry. We have SVG coming from overseas and Australian supercars. The age really doesn't matter anymore. It just matters your background, your pedigree, and then combining you with the best of the best and what you got. Show us what you got. Thank you for that, because yeah, it's just, it's just a new way to think.
You still got to win. You still got to perform. I mean,
absolutely.
Shane van Gisbergen's 36. So, right. I mean, look, Justin Marks took a gamble with him a little bit with the Project 91. Look what it turned into. And then he just announced the contract extension this week. So, he's going to be there a few more years. And again, if Shane had not performed the way that they had hoped, would he have gotten that contract extension? Even for, some of the things he could do. And look, fantastic the road courses, and he is starting to build in on the ovals. There's progress. Now, it's still a challenge, and you're still asking him to compete against all these guys who've raced on ovals throughout their whole career, whereas these guys are trying to race against Shane, who's raced on street and road courses his whole career. So look, what Shane has been able to do has been fantastic. And, if he hadn't been able to perform like he has, he wouldn't be doing these things. So you still have to perform, but there are, like you say, there are so many different ways that you can get to NASCAR in the right circumstance. I mean, it's still challenging. If it was easy, there would be a lot more people. But again, there's 40 total rides. That's it in the Cup Series. So there are a lot of great drivers throughout the country. There are a lot of great drivers in a lot of different disciplines, a lot of great drivers that we will never see at the Cup Series that certainly you could say deserve to be, or, talent-wise should be up at this level, but don't get the opportunity for whatever reason. And, they're all trying to compete against each other, and all these young kids and all these veterans trying to show these young kids this is the way you do it and hold on to things.
Freak Nation, NBC Sports, Dustin Long joining us here in the Freak Nation. A great follow on Twitter for all things NASCAR. And one last thing in regards to SVG, he's beating their ass, Dustin. This isn't by a second or half a second. He's whooping the ass of dudes that are making millions of dollars a year and organizations that are making millions of dollars a year. What are the drivers thinking about what he's doing? He is such a level above that no one can catch this guy.
Well, actually, a question I was asking a lot of drivers this weekend is, look, they have all this SMT data or whatever it's now called now, since it's a NASCAR data. They can study what each of the drivers do. There are no secrets. If I was a driver, I could see what you guys are doing if you're drivers. Now, maybe I can't replicate it, but maybe I can find a way to counter it. So there's all that information. Look, the garage is talented. So it's like, why can't all these talented drivers not come close? I mean, SVG wins by 11 seconds today. At Mexico City, he won by 16 seconds. It would have been, he would have won by a big margin at Sonoma if there wouldn't have been a late caution. So, I mean, these guys talk about, look, this is what he's done. For him on road courses, as William Byron explained to him on road courses like us on ovals. And, he just doesn't slide the tire. He's very smooth. He's very consistent. And it's just, if you make a mistake, in essence, he's not going to make those too often. And he's just going to keep pulling away from you each time. And so he's very, very good. And again, he's doing this against, these great drivers in the Cup Series. Obviously, they don't have as much of the road and street course experience as he does, but these are still really good drivers out here that he's doing it to. Now, again, obviously, when he gets on the ovals, it's a different thing. He's, he's looking for top 20s as opposed to, contending for wins, contending for top 5s. They were really happy when at Indianapolis he qualified 11th and felt that was a step forward for them in just trying to gain speed. And look, when I asked him about that, he said, hey, it was a 50-minute practice session at Indianapolis. We could make multiple runs. We could use 2 sets of tires. And so I could build up to a comfort level to then when it was time to qualify, he could really put together a good lap. When you have these 25-minute practice sessions, that's so tough. And that's the challenge for an SVG or for a lot of these younger guys who don't have as much experience, and you're bringing them up. And that's why a Connor Zilisch is, racing in Xfinity Series to get all the experience this year, is because you just don't have time in Cup. 25 minutes is that's all you get for most races in terms of practice sessions. So that's tough to kind of gain experience. I mean, look, I've been around long enough, and I'm old enough. I remember when it used to be all this testing. Jimmy Johnson talks about how they used to go and test. I think it was at Nashville every week, and just run laps after lap after lap. Or it used to be Kentucky Speedway. Everybody went up to Kentucky Speedway before it was on the NASCAR schedule or the Cup schedule, and that's where everybody tested. Like every Tuesday, every Wednesday, there were a bunch of teams up there and drivers getting lap after lap. In some of those cases, it was young drivers doing a lot of that testing and getting that experience. You don't have that now, and that is the challenge. And that's why it's so important, the different feeder systems. It's important what Toyota's doing with its drivers. It's important what Josh Wise and Scott Speed are doing with the development drivers in the Chevy program. And you're building programs and targeting these drivers and setting a path for them to get that experience, to understand that racecraft. And it's why you see these guys race, the Cup drivers race in various other racing series, whether it's late models. SVG he ran the summer shootout with Scott McLaughlin and Bubba Wallace at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And he said, that helped him with, as he called it, combat racing, in essence, just the physical racing of it. Because, obviously supercars, if you touch somebody, it's a penalty. And, obviously it's not the case here. So learning that, and he said, just learning, he told me about learning, it helped him even with Martinsville, because at Martinsville, you think about those restarts. If he's restart on the outside lane, it's easy to get trapped up there because the inside lane's the preferred lane. He says it's the same way at the summer shootouts. And so it helped him understand and position himself to do a better job of being more aggressive and forcing his way down or getting himself down from the top lane to the bottom lane on a tight, narrow track. Again, that's nothing like Martinsville in the sense of how big it is, but it still has the same properties and things that you want to do, and that kind of helped him with it. So, again, here's the guy like we talk about. He's got this experience, but he doesn't have all this experience with NASCAR, and he's doing all these things because he's trying to catch up to all these other drivers who've been doing this for years and years, as they are trying to catch up to him on the road courses.
You want me to go down the list of drivers that have not won a freaking race this year, last year, year before, but are still vying for the championship? I mean, what an investment for Trackhouse.
Yes.
This dude's gone out there and kicked ass for 4 road course races. Why not invest in someone that has a specialty like that and then make it for the long haul to where you can learn those ovals? I get he's mid-30s, but gee, damn, man.
Still got talent.
This guy's kicking ass and making – some people consider the NASCAR Cup Series drivers the greatest drivers in the world. Hold on a second. SVG, what he's doing on the road course, I don't want to beat a dead horse, Dustin, is just bananas. And like you said, we're old enough to remember where they would hire the guns to come and run Sonoma and Watkins Glen back in the day. Yeah. But this guy is just taking a freaking hammer to these punks.
Well, I'm not going to call them punks. I mean, these are very good racers at this elite level, and he's doing things. But again, when you go on an oval, they're doing the same thing to him.
True,
and again,
true.
And that's the challenge. So, look, it's fun to watch SVG on a road course, just as it's fun to watch Kyle Larson on an oval, or what William Byron can do, or what Joey Logano can do, or what any of these other guys, Christopher Bell. These guys, the talent is in tremendous. And, certainly maybe it's a little more challenging to see it at times with this car at certain tracks. But, just because it looks like they're going around in circles, there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of things going on. And so I'm not going to get into the debate of who's the, are these guys the greatest drivers in the world? Look, they're better than me, so that's good enough for me.
Well, they're not better than you right now because you took time out to join us here in the Freak Nation, my friend. I know you got to get back to some work, but again, thank you for joining us, buddy. And it's always great to read your stuff on NBCSports.com. And, of course, follow you on Twitter, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's good to talk to you guys. Always enjoy it, and hope you have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Can't say it enough, man. Good to get Dustin Long here in the Freak Nation, Crasher. Nice reach
Spectacular.
today.
Well, he saved all of motorsports fandom in giving us the updates on Connor Zilisch. So with his boots on the ground, he really helped us to realize that, all right, Connor's going to be okay. He's sitting up on his own. That was the spectacular tweet of the weekend. So, yeah, had to get him on to give us a little bit more of the insight as to the entire weekend at the Glen.
Freak Nation, we can't say it enough, man, that Connor Zilisch, when he fell off that car, my goodness. I'm not saying a lot of us are hanging our hats in the future of NASCAR. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this guy has such potential to be one of those game changers in a series that we cover quite heavily. Someone that he's just not an a-hole.
Right.
He's not. I mean, real quick, Ty, speaking of a-holes, I just called you Ty, Cole. I mean, Cole.
Oh,
speaking of, I did.
Don't
Sorry.
do that.
What was it you heard? That real quick. What did Ty say?
Ty Gibbs was crashing out big time today on over the
called
radio.
Cole Ty.
They were on the same winning strategy as SVG, Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, and he would not stop complaining about the drivability of his car. And to his detriment, his crew chief called him out on it. Said, "You know what? You call the race if you want to."
No!
And then that compounded into a pit road blunder for the 54 team. Finished 33rd. So
imagine that.
Not good, Ty. Not good.
Wow.
Call back.
Attaboy. All right, Freak Nation, we are witnessing history in the open wheel series known as IndyCar and the stock car series known as the NASCAR Cup Series. And it's with two dudes that were not born here in America. You got a problem with that? That's next. Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Hey, race fans, it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with Speed Freaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to Speed Freaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network.
Here's to the Dream Chasers, the Glass Ceiling Breakers, the Minivan Mothers, the Schedule Jugglers, and everyday all-stars at the top of their game. We see you making moves, taking names, and rewriting the rules to find your own way. To all the women who keep our world running smooth, we keep you on the move.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared tempers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate Illinois.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, this segment brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com to find a tire for your ride this hot summer and while you're traveling across the country. Make sure you're rolling on those General Tires. That's GeneralTire.com. Before we went live, the three of us, well, Cody over there as well, we're talking about Austin Hill's incidences at Watkins Glen on Saturday afternoon. I love people because there's some creative sons of bitches out there on Twitter that it's like I saw something to the effect of, man, I bet Austin Hill gets 20 to life for those murders on the front stretch.
Whoa,
oh my God.
People.
I saw one that was like, I guess Austin Hill took a trip to Portland this weekend facing Connor Daly.
Yeah, IndyCar Twitter is allegedly, I think Lynn was telling us, blowing up with Connor Daly giving Bob Pockras from Fox Sports some photos or some videos of his incident with Rasmussen. Okay, hold on. Let me get one thing off my chest here, because I know we're going to talk about history with IndyCar and NASCAR, but IndyCar race control, what's going on? We don't have enough time right now to really get into it, but my goodness, you have a really hard shunt by Rasmussen on Connor Daly that gets this many penalties. That would be 0, yet Scott Dixon barely touches the slower moving Joseph Newgarden and he gets called into the pits for it. The inconsistency is mind-blowing. This after not pulling or not throwing the yellow or being able to pull cars off the racing line at Laguna Seca. Your off-season's coming up, and it really can't come any sooner, because not only does Team Penske have to reorganize a lot in their race team in the off-season, race control that is also supposed to be independent of Roger Penske at this point. You guys have some things you got to discuss in the off-season. Fans are not happy. You got to make changes. You got to call things better.
Connor Daly tweeted this out a few hours ago, saying purposely wrecking someone in a 150 miles per hour corner is just pure insanity. That's not racing. It's inexcusable. The driving standards for some are a joke right now. That means you, Christian Rasmussen.
Oh,
I am curious. Let's say that Cole and I had a beef, and instead of solving it, I called him out on Twitter, and then Cole and I got to be in the same studio on Sunday night. That's what's going to happen with with Nashville, right? Or is that the
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee is Connor's basically saying, Rasmussen, you're kind of a douche.
Kind of.
And you're going to be driving a race car at 180, 190 miles an hour in this little thing called the Milwaukee Mile. It's there. It's there in their heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be.
Yep. It's called the paddock. It's called driver's meeting. It's called a lot of pre-race promos that they're going to probably be near each other doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Palou is setting records in the IndyCar series, and as you can tell by the excitement in young Cole Cusimano.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we don't have a full shot of him because we might see something else.
Oh, jeez.
You're just wearing shorts, man. You're freaking.
This is a national radio show.
I know
my
it.
guy.
Well, we're called the Freak Nation. It's after 10 somewhere, too. But in all seriousness, Alex Palou is doing some bananas numbers in the IndyCar series that we haven't seen since the greats of Mario Andretti and A.J. Foyt. What are some of the numbers that you're seeing with Alex Palou, who's now clinched his 4th IndyCar title?
Yes,
Third consecutive.
It's a three-peat for Alex Palou. Clinches with 2 races remaining in the season. He is now tied for 3rd most all time with Mario Andretti, Al Unser, Rick Mears, and he is, right within reach of Scott Dixon, AJ Foyt, who has the most with 7, but only 28 years old.
Yeah,
19 wins, 4 titles in 6 seasons. I just want to know how high this guy can climb in the history books because the sky's the limit, in my opinion. I think he's going to pass AJ Foyt. Obviously, I don't have the expansive knowledge that you have, Crash, and you have Kenny on IndyCar, but just seeing what he's been able to do this year in my first year watching IndyCar, I really appreciate what we're all witnessing, and it's just been really just outstanding to watch.
And the cherry on top is he's not a bad guy. He's incredibly nice.
Yeah.
And generous.
A true champion.
Yeah.
A true champion.
Yeah.
Holds himself so well.
It's just, we are witnessing history. I know there's some in the fan base that are upset that Formula One's not going to give him a look anymore, but who cares? Let's allow him to break records over here, and we as the fan base can be a part of it.
Here's what I'll say. I'll piss off Richie, who's not here with us today. F1 does not deserve Alex Palou. Okay?
Right.
Let's keep him in IndyCar.
Well, I think it's not a bold statement. It's just a fact.
Yes, sir.
Right? So Alex Palou comes over here and wins 4 championships in the IndyCar series, a series that was started here in America. Same thing for the NASCAR Cup Series. You've got SVG, who's got 4 road racing wins this season.
His rookie season.
And I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but going back to what a former ESPN RPM Tonight host stated about being a xenophobe, I'm curious what his take is on these foreigners coming in and taking all this money and all these headlines away from American drivers. And I am curious if John Kernan takes offense to those guys coming in here in an American-bred series and kicking the ass of Americans.
I tweeted John Kernan after his ridiculous tweet about Lee Diffie. Was that just a week ago? I think it was just a week. Wow. Yep. So I tweeted at John Kernan and said, yeah, you were one of those guys in IndyCar who said, we need more American drivers with these foreigners. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. These foreigners aren't good for the sport. We need more Americans in order for people to identify, which always pissed me off because I'm like, guess what? They all speak English. So what if they have an accent? It's still English. Let the best talent, no matter where it's born in the world, let the best talent compete against the best talent. Not always going to be an American driver. So just let the best find each other and compete against each other. That type of stuff, that really drove me nuts in the beginning of the 2000s.
Well, and it happens. It happens with the fan base, too, where it's like, come on. Guy, when cats like Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon, I'm going up and down the Jimmy Johnson, I'm trying to go up and down the West Coast. When the West Coast drivers,
Kevin Harvick
started to come in and kick the ass of the typical Southern race car drivers, there was quite a bit of a backlash. And if you want to go back and look at the history of Jeff Gordon versus Dale Earnhardt Sr., that was some vitriol. between the fan base of Dale Earnhardt and the Rainbow Warrior. And I'd liken some of this to that. Fortunately, we've grown up, for the most part, in this country where we've accepted it. We've been doing Speed Freaks for 25 freaking years. When Toyota made their introduction into NASCAR, oh, the vitriol that the Japanese company took upon themselves from the haters. And there was, we'll talk about this all the time. When we used to take phone calls for the radio shows, one guy was calling up, bitching and moaning. I came in from mowing the lawn and Toyota this. And I said, what kind of lawnmower you got? I said, it's a Honda.
Really? Click.
Yeah. So, you're witnessing greatness with SVG and Alex Palou. I'm glad Cole Cusimano's on the bandwagon for IndyCar to really see what's happening with that series. And frankly, Cole, we don't have much time, man, but seeing that series up close and personal, you realize just how badass these guys are.
Absolutely. And I'll say this on both SVG and Alex Palou. In the case of Alex Palou, I know the dominance may get old for some people that are longtime fans, but for me, it makes the sport worth watching because you want to see, much like SVG on road courses, like, is he going to win? Is he going to whoop the entire field? Is somebody going to beat him? Like, I think it makes it worth watching. So, both ways.
Good point.
Because the road course racing in NASCAR has not been great, but I want to see, is the field going to beat SVG? Is he going to lap everybody, win by 12 seconds? Like, it makes it worth watching.
Well, and Crasher, Crasher was born and raised in Indianapolis. Her father was assistant medical director at the Speedway and had a couple of jobs with different teams in the IndyCar series. And
I did, not my dad.
Yes, you did, sorry. And of all three of us, you could explain to the Freak Nation what's happening with Alex Palou and how big this is for the series.
Oh, I
don't know.
I think it speaks for itself. Yeah. I mean, all I want is to be entertained, and there's different forms of entertainment. Sometimes it comes in a dominating season performance. Sometimes it comes with parity. You just have to be able to still find what is great about both of them. And I think Alex Palou, if he was a douche, maybe I would think differently. But because he's such an amazing guy, and then seeing him just so seamlessly win these races, it's been an absolute treat to witness.
Freak Nation, thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and of course at our website, speedfreaks.tv. We'll do it again next weekend. Tip.
Speed Freaks, motorsports radio redefined.
Summer is finally here. Cookouts, pool parties, and rising gas prices. Time to start using Lucas Fuel Treatment. Lucas Fuel Treatment improves mileage, increases power, and lowers emissions. It's a virtual tune-up in a bottle. Just pour it directly into the tank for a dramatic improvement in the performance of your vehicle. Good for gas and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. Get it now at your local auto parts store.
Since 2022, the Enjoy Illinois 300 and Worldwide Technology Raceway has been nothing short of spectacular. Side-by-side racing, intense battles, flared timbers. It's now the second race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. All the excitement and the added drama of championship elimination. Go fast, go home. Get your tickets now at WWTRaceway.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate, Illinois.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Texas 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Here's to the Dream Chasers, the Glass Ceiling Breakers, the Minivan Mothers, the Schedule Jugglers, and everyday All-Stars at the top of their game. We see you making moves, taking names, and rewriting the rules to find your own way. To all the women who keep our world running smooth, we keep you on the move. Hey, race fans, it's Crash Gladys.
And Kenny Sargent with SpeedFreaks. You want motorsports with muscle, stories with edge, and guests that won't hold back? Welcome to SpeedFreaks.
We're the only home of raw, real, racing-fueled chaos, and we serve it up weekly on Racer Network. From Supercross to Supercars, F1, NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, we talk legends, we talk lunatics, and everything else in between. Buckle up, Freak Nation.
SpeedFreaks, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Racer Network.
SpeedFreaks, motorsports radio redefined.